Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. I watched the coronation when they had it on TV, and as we know, if you probably saw the video of the coronation and my observations, and I thought that I would pass on the coronation concert, but I kept seeing clips on YouTube about how everybody was celebrating it, and they looked like they were all into it. So curiosity got the better of me, and I tried to find it, and I ended up finding a YouTube video of the concert, and I'll provide a link below. The sound quality wasn't the best at times, but the picture quality was really great. So I'm going to give observations on the concert, and they go hand in hand with the coronation, I think. Well, 20,000 people gathered at the concert and the celebration of the coronation, and millions more watched on TV, and so it was a giant party. And the gathering was held on the Windsor grounds, and to see the castle as a backdrop to the concert stage was so spectacular. Hollywood wasn't needed to create such a sight. It was really wonderful to see. And the time of the day, too, was later in the afternoon, and that lighting was just perfect. And the crowd was electrifying. Everybody was waving British flags and dressed in red, white, and blue. And the royal family also had their little flags and waved them in approval at different times. And the crowd, as I said, was in great spirits. The host of the event was Hugh Bonneville, and it was neat to see the host was the star from Downton Abbey. And I didn't know that he had such great comedic abilities. Hugh said about King Charles that it was in honor the concert of the artist formerly known as Prince. So that was pretty funny. And they had a choir of people from the UK, and they gave it their all. And what an honor it must have been for them to be up on that stage singing in front of the king and the family. Talented performers. There was a list of performers that were asked to appear, but they said, to conflicts in schedule, they were unable to do the show. People who declined were Harry Styles, who was touring, Adele, who was in Vegas doing her shows, and Elton John, who was out of the country performing. The performers they did get were great and got the crowd and the royals going. And the Prince of Wales, he made a brief speech, and Prince William took the stage, and his kids were excited to see him there. They were looking at each other and looking back at the stage, and Kate was smiling too, looking very proud of her husband. He started with a joke, saying to the crowd that unlike concert performer Lionel Richie, he wouldn't go on all night long, and that drew a big laugh from everybody. He thought about his grandmother, Queen Elizabeth, and said that she had mentioned coronations are a declaration of our hopes for the future. He felt she was looking over them, and she would be a proud mother. The crowd loved it and roared. He also stated that his dad's first words when entering Westminster Abbey was a pledge of service. Then he listed all the services that Prince Charles had been involved in. And I like how they sprinkled in things about the king that people didn't realize or that children would like to know to make him more relatable. So they said he's a magician, he's acted, he had a frog named after him, and Prince Charles was trained as an aviator and flew planes for the Royal Air Force and a helicopter for the Royal Navy in the 1970s, and he was given his pilot wings in 1971, and he was qualified as a helicopter pilot in 1974. And he's also an artist doing watercolor paintings for 50 years, so he's kind of like a Renaissance man. And then Steve Winwood appeared with a choir, and he performed the song Higher Love, and he still has a great voice, and he performed the song with different choirs singing along with him. And Princess Charlotte and Prince George were doing little waves with their flags, and as the day started to turn to night, they illuminated Windsor Castle with light and changing scenes. And the scenes with Hugh and Kermit and Miss Piggy were very funny, and Miss Piggy thought that Hugh was a real lord. Then they were trying to find their way to the royal box, and Miss Piggy said, "Can you believe that moi is not a lady?" And then she tried to flirt with Hugh and ask if he was single, and Hugh was looking a bit uncomfortable, which made it even funnier. Miss Piggy then asked Hugh to show Kermit the way to the royal box, saying King Charles E. Worsley is expecting him. It got a laugh from King Charles and Camilla, and Princess Charlotte and Prince William liked it too. And then Tom Cruise made an appearance from a cockpit of a pre-recorded message saying, "Pilot to pilot, Your Majesty, you can be my wingman anytime." And then Lionel Richie took the stage, and he started with a slow song, "I'm Easy." Charles loved it, and he was nodding his head and smiling, and the crowd was swaying with their concert lights. I was wondering who provided the orchestra, and it was called the Household Division Orchestra, and they did a great job all night long. And a viral moment happened when they showed Princess Sophie dancing to his second song all night long, and Prince Charles even danced to it. Princess Charlotte and Prince William were grooving to the song too, so it was so nice to see everybody having a good time. God Save the King was played with everyone in the crowd singing it, and the crowd that was seated along with King Charles rose, and so did King Charles and Queen Camilla. And after the song, he waved at everyone. The British singer Paloma Faith performed her song Lullaby, and then they showed parties that were being held throughout the UK, which was neat, places like Sheffield, Blackpool, and Cambridge. And then Stella McCartney appeared talking about King Charles and how he's been a supporter of conservation for over 50 years. And Katy Perry took to the show, and above the sky, the drones showed a lion's head, which was really cool. Hear Me Roar was performed, and Princess Charlotte knew the song. She was singing along to it, and the crowd was singing too. Her gown was kind of large, but then I was hoping in her strapless top that she wasn't going to lose anything, because I don't know how it was holding together. And she ended her part of the show with the song Fireworks. And she got to bring her mom, and she said they stayed at Windsor Castle. And she joked, no big deal. Okay, the drones were a hit with everybody. And the Coronation concert featured light displays from 1,000 drones, and they were used at 3 locations. The display was created and deployed by Sky Magic, and it was quite a show. So the show was a great celebration. It was a time for everybody to unite and feel a sense of pride in their country. King Charles and Queen Camilla were able to relax and just enjoy the show without being the center of attention the whole time. And it was neat to see the royals enjoying the show and see the grandchildren of the king having fun too. It was a great way to close out the coronation, and King Charles could feel the support of the Commonwealth that day. The theme seemed to be united in light and love, and there's nothing wrong with that. We could all use that. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video, and if you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would be great. And I hope everybody's been having a good day. And if you click on the bell, you could be notified whenever a new video is posted. So tune in again soon for another episode of Queen Elizabeth, A Day in Her Life. Thank you. Bye.